Oh, come back. Hi. Hi, baby. You're so handsome. Good boy. He's so cute. Bubba?
I think he likes you. That's a perfect introduction for your channel, especially because, like, good boy. Like, you start recording and a dog walks up to you.
I mean, it's me.
Oh, that's funny. What's up, blockheads and...
I don't have a name for my peeps.
two-wheelers? Mm.
Good boys.
Good boys?
Gender neutral to the girls as well. There's another good boy. I can't even right now.
There's a Doberman good boy. All right, so what's up, guys? We are here in Magnolia Park, which is a pretty common spot for my videos, but joining me from Ohio, her two wheels, Jess.
What's up?
If you guys don't know her two wheels, she is a motovlogger. I would say up and coming, but your channel's like just freaking skyrocketing. Check out her channel, link right here on the screen, as well as down in the description below. You want to tell people kind of what you do, what your channel's about?
Yeah, you guys, my channel is very simple, not very adventurous. You won't catch me stunting on my Dyna popping wheelies. I like to ride. I just like to ride anywhere, anytime, all year round. And in Ohio, it gets really cold. But that's what I do. I love iced coffee. I'll ride to coffee. I love dogs. I love meeting people, and I just ride. So I do quite literally consider myself like almost a daily vlogger, but I don't post daily. I just capture my life on two wheels.
So in today's video, we've had like lots of requests to do a dual vlog. We get lots of questions, you get lots of questions. So we figured we'd just do a Q&A. So we posted up a thing on Instagram and Facebook and Patreon and all that stuff, asking you guys for questions. We've taken questions from like kind of each of the platforms, and we're gonna go through and we're gonna answer them. So we're gonna do half of the questions on my channel, half of the questions on her channel. So you guys basically go check out both of the channels in order to see all the questions. Cool?
They're good ones. They're good ones.
We've got the questions right here on her tank, because I figured you guys would enjoy her voice more than my voice.
I don't know. Let us know down in the comments who has the better soothing voice.
Oh, now I'm just going to be talking like this the entire time.
Uh-huh.
What's up, blockheads?
Like instantly uncomfortable.
Okay, so one thing I know that you've gotten a question a lot on your channel about, but like my viewers, if they don't know about you, your motorcycles. You want to start off with like telling us what you got here?
Yes, so this is my 2009 Harley-Davidson Dyna Super Glide. She is my first Harley-Davidson. I've owned a couple bikes before this one, and she's filthy dirty right now, so this is embarrassing. But you guys constantly ask what I do to keep her clean, and I don't do anything. I just wipe her down every once in a while. So it's an optical illusion if you think she looks good.
I mean, you just rode 1,000 miles, so I don't think anybody's going to fault you for it being a little dirty.
She's a little dirty girl. Other than that, she's an older model, and she's been really, really, really good to me. So I was looking at the questions here. They're a little split. Like, you know, the very first question is, are you married? Stuff like that, so.
You just want to jump in right from there?
Yeah, so let's get started with the questions. Question number 1, are you married?
I am not married. However, the reason that we included this question is because whenever I post it up, ooh, look, peacocks.
What? Where?
Yeah, so the reason we posted this question is because on Jess's channel, she gets asked, are you single, or hey girl, people trying to spit game. And anytime I post up any female on my channel, you guys are always like, new girlfriend. And like, I understand, I guess, like that want for that connection and that insight into personal life, but I'm not married, and Jess is married.
Yes, very married, very happily married. My husband rides as well, and we have been together over 14 years.
And they even have little matching tattoos for, what was it, 13-year anniversary?
Yeah, so we got our 13-year anniversary tattooed on Friday the 13th.
Second question, what are we looking at?
Second question is, what are your thoughts thus far with YouTube and motovlogging?
So I've been doing it for coming up on 4 years now. As of filming this video, next month will pretty much be like the 4-year mark of my first upload.
Damn.
So since you're pretty new to this whole thing, I'm gonna let you start out answering that question.
Yeah.
Because you've been doing it how long?
I think I've been doing it 9 months at this point. Yeah, I started in October. So I've mentioned in a few of my videos, if you go back and look at my channel, I actually started the Her Two Wheels channel in January of 2017.
Oh, wow.
So this has been a goal of mine for a while, but I just never really did it. I don't know. I don't know if it was a confidence issue or a technological issue, but finally something last year, there were not very many women motovloggers, especially women on cruiser motorcycles.
Yeah.
And so I decided, like, this is it. I want to be that person that other people can watch that I'm looking for right now. So I feel like I was trying to fill a void, but I had no idea what I was doing. So my thoughts on it thus far, it has probably been one of the best decisions of my life. I'm going to get over real fast.
Roadkill, not an alligator.
I still want to see a damn gator.
We'll get your gator by the time you leave.
Yes. It's been one of the best decisions of my life. The camaraderie that I've gained through this platform and the other women motorcyclists that I've been able to meet has been wholeheartedly one of the best experiences. So my thoughts with it thus far is I'm so glad I decided to do this.
Yeah, the community behind it is just absolutely huge. Sorry.
Hey, buddy.
Sorry.
I liked his pink hat.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned, being a female motovlogger and then riding a cruiser, because whenever I first started, there were very few, male motovloggers riding cruisers. And obviously tons of male motovloggers, but riding cruisers, specifically even Harley-Davidson, I think there were maybe 2. It was kind of a niche market. And so I started up, and I saw a lot of traffic, and people would comment all the time, finally a cruiser motovlogger. I just happened to do it because I thought it would be fun and interesting and a challenge, and having an artistic background, it was just something that really interested me. But on the niche note, so I kind of got into that niche of cruiser motovlogger, and then for a while I was thinking man, if we could get a cruiser motovlogger that was a Harley technician, that channel would do really well. And so I was actually looking to bring on and feature a certified Harley technician for advice. And then John Maxwell basically started doing vlogs and stuff, and I was I hit him up, and we've been friends for a while, and I was dude, your channel's gonna do awesome. And then I told Anna for the longest time, I was if you started motovlogging, you're a female on a cruiser, and I was it would be even more niche. I'm you would do really well because you're a woman, and you would do really well because there's not really any other cruiser female motovloggers out there. And I think the big emphasis is there's not any out there that upload on a consistent basis. And
yeah.
YouTube loves consistency. I always say that. And so for the fact that you're kind of filling in that niche, filling in that gap, you're consistently putting out content at least once a week, twice a week.
Currently it's twice a week.
That's one of those big things. So I'm super stoked to see you in that role, and then also the success that you're getting behind it. I mean, I guess going back to the original question of what has your experience been thus far, you commented talking about community. That's probably been the biggest thing, is just the thing that amazes me the most is the community. I don't have any regrets of starting it. It's definitely it's a lot of hard work, man. People don't see the work that goes into it.
Yeah.
But it's an absolute ton of hard work, but it is absolutely worth it.
It is quite literally a full-time job.
Yeah. And then while you're trying to do your other full-time job, it's oh, okay, 2 full-time jobs. Sorry. Okay, what's the next one up?
Next one is what got you into motorcycles?
So I've been into motorcycles since I was a kid. Growing up, I grew up in South Texas. My cousins had dirt bikes, and I always wanted to ride their dirt bikes. My cousins weren't much older than me, and so they had not the full-size big dirt bikes. They had the mini, kid dirt bikes. And so I remember bugging the shit out of them and just being I want to ride, I want to try. But I had no concept of clutch, throttle, any of that stuff. And I'd ridden bicycles, and I just always thought the dirt bikes are super cool. And so they finally let me ride one of their dirt bikes. I got on it, and I ran into a chain link fence.
Oh my God.
And the crazy thing is I actually right before hitting the fence, I low-sided, and I went underneath the chain link, it flexed, and I slid under it, the bike and me. And they were thinking that I would be all cut up because sliding under a chain link fence. But like surprisingly, like I was just totally like fine, wasn't hurt.
And you're like, all right, I can keep doing this.
Yeah, I never got to ride the dirt bikes again after that. But after that, you know, my family, we had 4-wheelers, we had 3-wheelers, which I don't know how I didn't get crazy hurt on 3-wheelers. We get like stranded in the woods and stuff. And then, yeah, kind of growing up, my parents just were very like anti-motorcycle because they're like murder cycles, death trap, blah, 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 you know, that whole stigma. My ex, you know, ended up coming home one day and she was like, you know, you want to take a motorcycle safety class? And I'm like, yeah, like I'm an adult now. For some reason, I didn't even think that like I can ride a motorcycle if I want. Or reignited the whole riding and being interested in motorcycles, and the rest is history. It started out with the Iron 883 and went from there.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't have is that history with bikes. Nobody in my family rode my whole life. I was never interested in motorcycles. I did love just manual transmission cars. I've always driven manual transmission cars. Is that an airplane? No, that's a boat. Is that an airplane?
Yeah, broken up airplane. Yeah.
Damn. So I basically got into riding 5 years ago. In 2015, my sister-in-law decided that she wanted to get her endorsement and ride. And she's like, you should come take the class with me. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do with a motorcycle? Like, that doesn't sound fun. You can go do it yourself. And she's like, come on, I don't want to do it alone. And I was like, all right, I like learning new things, and sure, let's give it a shot. So in the amount of time I went and got my permit, in between then and taking the actual class, I ended up becoming super obsessed with the idea of riding. I bought my first motorcycle before I even knew how to ride it. And that was another reason that I was inspired to start making YouTube videos. And I think why your channel did so well so fast is because there were no instructional videos on how to actually ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to understand the mechanics of it before I took the class, just because I like being prepared.
Yeah.
So I had a really hard time finding instructional videos on how to ride. And I feel like I picked it up really fast, and it was on a total whim. And I had nobody to ride with when I first started learning. And I just stuck with it. And now I cannot imagine my life without this bike and without motorcycles in general.
Not one of the questions, but like, you know, one of the questions that I do get every now and then, how have motorcycles changed your life? And it's like all of my friends now, you know, the common thing you were talking about, having friends that are like drummers. And it's like, yeah, all of my friends are motorcyclists.
Yeah.
It's like, for some reason, it's like, it's just what happens.
Birds of a feather.
Yep.
All right, next question. Why is guacamole extra?
Man. I mean, if you've ever been to the store and seen the price of avocados, it's kind of pricey. And
I don't know, man. All good things in life are not free. That's the opposite of that actual saying.
I mean, it's a super random question, so I liked it, and I was like, you know what, we're gonna throw that question on there. But I think that answers the guac question.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty logical answer. Next question is, what are your 3 favorite things about bike life?
Weren't we told to stay away from like a cliche on this one?
Yeah, we were told to stay away from the answer, the people.
The people?
The people, which sucks because that is quite literally the best part of this bike life.
Yeah, the community. You want to take lead on that one?
Sure, I'll do my best. The 3 things I love about this is, for me personally, especially geographically where I'm from, it is still a very non-traditional thing, and it's changing. It's like the women motorcycle community is definitely growing very fast, so that's exciting. But for me, when I decided to get into motorcycles, I genuinely felt like I was doing something different and enjoying something non-traditional. And it wasn't kind of like a prove anybody wrong type of thing. It was just, I learned something new and I had a really, really good time with it. I just enjoy that lifestyle, like the feeling that I give myself when I'm on my bike. And I guess the second thing is the opportunities that I've had with it. You know, that I would never in my wildest dreams be like, I think I'm gonna go drive to Florida next week for, you know, no reason in particular, but I was like, I think I want to ride my motorcycle 1,000 miles to just go do something. So it gives me an excuse.
Yeah, crazy
to just
awesome.
Get out and do stuff. And I think the third thing is also cliche, but it really is the freedom. The being on a motorcycle forces you like mandatorily you have to live in the present no matter where you're doing, like where you're going, what you're doing. You have to exist and pay attention to everything. So just that heightened sense of being here and riding is, I think that's where that euphoric feeling comes from.
That's so funny that you mentioned that as your third, because so like my brother, I was talking to him and I was like, man, it's such a shame that you don't ride motorcycles, because like you could totally come ride with us and, you know, it'd be a lot of fun. And he was like, well, I'm really interested. And so one of the things that I had mentioned was, you know, having that sense of like having to pay attention. And so he basically started talking about exactly what you just said, having to be present, having to be in the moment rather than distracted, like on your phone or watching Netflix or like staring at a screen or whatever. And he said that that actually like is one of the paths like towards enlightenment for like Buddhism.
Really?
You know? And I was like, just the way he explained it, I was like, dude, that is spot on.
Yeah.
Motorcycles. So I thought it was really like insightful. I was like, man, that makes a lot of sense. You know, I was like, shit, well, I guess.
I just got goosebumps. I really did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
And it's funny, like a lot of the times I say like throttle therapy. So like I definitely have to agree with you on like being present, being in the moment. The sense of like, you know, just kind of being able to escape. And I always say like you're outside, like you feel like you're outside, you know, versus in a car, you're just like in a cage, you know, you're surrounded, you're complacent, you know, you're comfortable, like in your own climate controlled environment. But like being on a motorcycle, it's you, two wheels, an engine, explosive liquid dinosaurs, and you have control of your adrenaline through like that right there. Like it's amazing.
Do
like,
what I say.
Such a great feeling, you know. And I know you can like kind of get the same feeling in cars, but there's nothing like this right here.
This paper's about to go, man.
Well, so I think that was two, basically like being present in the moment, piggybacking off of yours. Definitely, totally agree with that one. We're not allowed to mention the community, but that's definitely number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sense of like being outside, kind of that sense of freedom that you get. And then for me, I really enjoy like working on motorcycles, because in addition to like riding and that being therapy, like being able to sit in your garage and like take something apart, break it down to a point where you can customize it and make it your own. Like I've been like artistic since I was like really young. I used to walk around with like a pad of paper and pens and pencils, and I would always be drawing stuff. And so when I got into cars, I kind of discovered like, oh, you can customize out cars and modify them. And so I started doing that with the first car that I ever had. Whenever I discovered motorcycles and discovered like, oh, like you can work on these and make them your own and like customize and stuff, it was like mind-blowing for me. So that's whenever I started like looking at videos on YouTube, and I was like, oh man, like, well, how do I change the air cleaner? How do I change the exhaust? You know, how do I do taller bars? How do I change my bars? You know, how do I add that like little bit of a lift to the tank, or, you know, change out my taillights? And there was just so few videos online showing people how to do stuff that were like quality videos. And that's where like the how-to videos started coming from, is because like, you know, I had background in videography, and so being able to like customize a bike, make it your own, put your own touch on it, to me was like incredibly fulfilling. So it fulfills like that creative need, I guess.
It's like your adult version of Legos.
Yeah, exactly. And each bike is kind of like a little bit different. You know, it lends itself well based on its shape to like a bit of a different style. And so it's kind of just really interesting, like discovering that while, you know, going through this whole motorcycle journey. So yeah, I'd say the artistic customizing side of motorcycles. And I know I've kind of barely scratched that surface, but man, like I want to like get into fabrication and like so much more stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to see where the journey continues to go.
And that's like the best part about it. It's ever evolving. You know, motorcycles are constantly being created and old ones still exist, and there's so much to do.
Yeah, I think that's my three. So it's hanging on by a thread.
I know. It's just
All right, guys, so this is going to be half of the Q&A. So there's going to be like a part 1 and a part 2. So part 1, you guys just saw here on the Blockhead channel. Part 2, if you guys want to see it, you need to go to Jess's channel at Her Two Wheels. So like I said, I'll be sure to drop the link down in the description below. Go check out part 2 so you guys can hear the answers to the rest of the questions that you guys gave us. By the way, thank you guys for posting up the questions. recommendations and comments and all that stuff. Greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the bell icon. Get notifications for future uploads and activity and all that. And be sure to hit that like button. And be sure to go follow Jess. All right, continuing part 2.